Hey, good morning, good morning. Yeah, what the heck? It's not like Bobby not to be up this morning. Oh, I'm doing all right. A little tired, still covered in paint from painting a garage yesterday. Neighbor got cited by the city, so all hands on deck. Well, okay. Me and Rusty went over and painted it. Everybody else just kind of watched from a distance. Some neighbors, well, yeah, we don't have neighborhoods anymore. We have residences in an area. You know how it is. Getting neighbors together to do anything. Oh my God. Oh. So good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? What's your plans for today? Hey, JC, what's going on, sweetie? Ugh. Ugh. Oof, I am definitely not with it today. So what do you think, Elegant? Should I keep going with compost? As you saw, most of my subscribers are not very vocal. Like some people were there, never said a word, and then as soon as I shut the stream off, they had stuff to say about it. When I got to their channel. But there's so much we can say about composting. The passivity, the thermal mass, the this, the that, uh, God, the dangers of composting and the pile never reaching 130 degrees for enough days to kill off all the bad bacteria. Like listeria and salmonella and what have you. I mean, people, well, see, that's just it. Everybody wants the shortcut. Well, can I keep adding to the compost pile while it's in its transition? Can I this? Can I that? Well, yeah, eventually, as their knowledge comes up, as their this, that, the other, you know, that's just it. For me to do compost 102, let's call it, it's like the science behind it, not necessarily the ways of doing it, but the science behind it, because it can be so beneficial, but there's so many drawbacks. There's so many what ifs. There's so many things that people aren't aware of that can happen. Um, if you allow too much wind to it, it dries out. You don't allow any wind to it and it overheats, then you have a fire. There's so many different what ifs. Um, oh, geez. Bringing in unknown outside elements, like going out and getting horse manure or something. You don't know where you don't know what hay they're feeding them. You don't know the elements behind it. You don't know what they're feeding the actual horse. You don't. So you've got to get your temperatures to at least 150 for a minimum of 15 days to burn off all your seeds. Well, yeah, but that's just like in the middle of winter. Great time to add your chicken manure. If you're still working the piles in the winter, because you can bring the temperatures way up while it's still super cold outside. You could be -10 in your piles running at 110. Right. Well, that's again, that's the science behind it. You have your nitrogen builders and you have your carbon builders, your browns and your greens. If you get it in and your carbon's too high and you go to place that on your garden, it's going to be robbing your soil of your nitrogen because you didn't have enough green. There's so many different. Then some people are talking about, well, we're in a dry area. Should we have a bottom on it? Shouldn't we? Well, if you want to hold your moisture content, you should put a bottom on it. Yeah, it's harder to turn it, but you want to retain as much moisture as possible. That's when you would be hay baling, because the hay is going to hold a whole lot more moisture and use that for your wall. There's so much. There's so much. I could write a book on compost alone. But as soon as you add the really good stuff, well composted, really good stuff to a garden, even in transition, you don't want to add it when the plants are too young, but it's explosive to the soil. The carbon's right. You're fixing the carbon back into your soils. Your minerals are right. Your nitrogen is in free release. You're not burning anything, and everything just takes off. Just so much. I just don't know. I mean, I guess I should go to the science of it for a second video. Because so many people are going to be, well, how do I test my moisture content? How do I monitor my temperatures? How do I know this? How I don't know. That's a lot of work for 40 views. So I just don't know. I don't know if I should do another one. I'm not getting any feedback. I don't know. I never get feedback on my videos. Very rarely. Heck, I could try and do like a Bobby with one instruction. Please hit the thumbs down just to see how many we could get. And 40 people would view the dang video, and I'd still only get, so much participation, maybe 2. Oh. Do I even have that channel? Do you have that channel linked anywhere? So we can get people over there to view that video? I don't know if I have it on this. I thought I had it on this computer, but I can't get to it right now while I'm live streaming. But yeah, we'll get it out. I'll bring it up. See what you get, what content you have on it, and I'll look at leading people to that for the next. Because I have another composter in England, but his conditions are totally different. Composting is specific. You know, composting in Canada is going to be totally different than composting in Texas. There are very specific things there. In Texas, I'd be worried about making the compost pile too tall and it getting too hot too quick. Yeah, there's a lot of drawbacks on that one. I guess it's one of them situations where too much information can be dangerous. There we go. So those of you watching the replay, there's a video on compost on That's Awesome channel. I will post the link below if you don't happen to catch it or don't see her in chat. Just depending on how active chat goes, I'll leave it running or not. Let me see. Let me see if I can do this. Last time I did this, I crashed. Nope, not going to let me do that. Nope. I'll bet you. I'll bet you. I got it. Okay. Really? All right, there we go. Of course it won't. Really? I'm not even moderated on my own channel. So, of course, it's not going to show. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. I'm sorry, everybody. It's too early. There. Come on, it'll come up. Where is it? Why isn't it showing it? Hey, Origin, what's going on? Well, we know you're in the middle of moving, Elegant. Everybody's aware of that. Why isn't it showing? It's not bringing the link up. Why won't it allow me to bring the link up? Huh. I appreciate that. So what's been going on? Anything good in Origin? Hey, Noodles, what's going on, buddy? Elegant, it's not allowing me to put that video up. I'll take care of it. It'll be in a link below, everybody. Elegant did a video on composting. I will link that below. Ooh, well, it's too early here for lasagna, but that does sound good. I might barbecue today. If the weather holds, I'm going to barbecue today. If I'm not painting a second coat, we'll see. I don't think I need to, but yeah. So those of you that don't know, the channel that you're seeing there that's wrenched, um, that's awesome. There's a compost video there that follows up my video, and there's believe me, there's a ton of other videos out there, but we're trying to help Elegant with that other channel, get her some more followers and get her some more views. So click over there and follow her and check that compost video out if you've been watching, or if you're watching my new series that I may or may not do, Compost 101. Since I'm not getting any feedback, I don't know whether I should do another one and go into the science. All right, where's the other? I think that's it. And JCT, you were already wrenched, right? I think so. Is that everybody? Yeah. Appreciate that, RSDT. Yeah, she's. I correct me if I'm wrong here, Elegant, but I think you're going to go a little wilder on the that's awesome page. Not worrying about the copyright so much as you do with the Elegant Homestead, or are you going to the other channel and going to leave the homesteading behind, or are you going to do both? I never got a chance to ask. Well, I'm there. I don't get it. Okay. Well, either way. Okay. Well, you'll pick up a few views. I don't get views on weekends. That's why I very rarely do anything on the weekends. The numbers just show that I don't get views on weekends. I'm not sorry. It's a book channel. But the views I do get, I'll do what I can. Well, you heard me. We'll try and get them over on your channel. Get them to see your compost video. See if I can pull some of those details and use some of those in the next, if we do another one. Like I said, I don't get the views. I don't know. And I very rarely get feedback on any of my videos, so I don't know whether people want to know more or if I was just filling a niche. I mean, even the channel, hopefully Chef is watching or will watch later. I did the compost video for her channel, for her people asking the questions, to cover the basics, and she fell asleep watching it. So she never got a chance to complete the video. So yeah. It's all good. It's all spare time. I mean, who knows? A year from now, that video might actually get a few views. You know, the book all of a sudden get popular and all my stuff get viewed. Yeah, that'd be interesting. But here's a weird part. Seems the only time that I see any registration in any sales of books is if I'm live that day. Then I might sell a book. If I talk enough correctly about the book, I might sell a book that day. Oh yeah. Appreciate that, Noodles. This is Cancer Society here. And it may be stopping me from getting work. Um, there's an organization called oh my God, you're really gonna pull at me today. Locks of Love, and it is very specific. Um, the hair goes directly to children with cancer in the Cancer Society. So when that reaches 13 inches total, um, they'll give me a free haircut. Any hairstyle I want, they'll give me a free haircut as long as that bunch that they grab is 13 inches long. So that's what I'm striving for. Um, I would continue doing it, but the book's not selling. I can't afford to just be here. So it's kind of a catch 22. If the book were selling and I were doing okay, then I would continue doing it. I've done it once before. Great organization, great people, and the kids need it. Um, Women can't contribute their hair because too many of them run to the dye pole. Giggle, giggle. And they treat their hair. They chemically treat their hair to get the different, oh my God, I can't have gray. And this week I want to have pink. And next week I want to be purple, and too many chemicals. And the kid's immune system is already down. And they can't wash that out of the hair. They can't fix that because hair's already dead. But now, now it's chemically treated. So they can't use that for the kids. So they've made arrangements with a couple of different huge hair salons, nationwide hair salons, that we get a free haircut and they get 13 or more inches of hair to make wigs out of. So that's why all the long hair. It's not because I'm just lazy, what have you. No, I cut my own hair. I can do a military cut in a couple of minutes. Just shave it all off, basically. But no, this is Cancer Society here. So I just let it go natural. Barely treat it, barely do anything to it. Honey conditioner is the only thing that really hits my hair. Honey rich conditioner. And of course, every time I get the Harley out, it seems like it grows another 5 inches. wonder what societal conditions caused that to happen. I don't want to hear hereditary. Most, if you get into the research, like I've gotten into the research, in holistic medicines, in Elegant, there's I'm going to say it. I know I've talked, I don't like talking about channels when they're not here. That's just a pet peeve of mine. Because too many times somebody's going to say something about another channel in a derogatory manner. And that's not my channel. But because of that, I kind of lean on a policy of I don't talk about another channel if they're not in the room. If they're here, I'll talk about them. But when I'm going up to speak, it's kind of a variable. Now, I told everybody over a week ago that I was going on Will's channel, just in time prepping, and that I would be over there to do a video on gardening. Now, you guys all saw the replay here. The video that I'm doing with them Monday night, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 Mountain Time. This week is on holistic medicine, and a lot of the stuff that people don't talk about. And, I'm not offering cures or anything like that. Yeah, all of this stuff is proven cures, but it turns out, leading back to the conversation I was just trying to have with Noodles, it turns out that most people are under the understanding, because of the white coat, I'm so special and prim and proper doctors that have a half hour to maybe an hour of dietary training. It turns out most diseases, hair loss, joint loss, bone brittleness, are not a hereditary thing. It's an immune thing. It turns out that it is where you live versus the amount of radiation that area receives, whether it be from cell phone towers, nuclear power plants, radio stations, whatever, all the way through your food and where you're getting your foods. If you're not growing your own and really taking care of your own gardens, and I mean really taking care of your own gardens, my plants and my production, even my test plot, as I call it, my stuff doubles coming out of the ground. Hey, Lori, good morning. So, following my system. Now, see, that was one of the things I wanted to go into, Elegant, and I wasn't sure I should, because I don't, other than the book, I don't want to be selling products. Some people can't compost. City ordinances don't allow it, because they're in a payback system where they get kickbacks from the trash company for the amount of trash going out. And when the billing cycle starts and people start having to pay per pound food waste and food scrap, you'd be taking away some of their money and they wouldn't get the kickbacks. So the cities have passed ordinances against composting. Well, turns out there's a product that I do talk about. It didn't make it into the book. I didn't have authorization at the time. Turns out there's a product. Prehistoric compost. It didn't reach the compost phase. It got blanketed over and it broke down, but it didn't compost. Anything, Lori. Okay. Those of you that already know, I'm sorry, bear with me. Welcome, Lori. Oh, I don't want to grab that one. I'll grab that one. I'm the Green Wizard. I've spent 15 years on a piece of property that's 80 years old that was chemically dosed, and I chemically dosed it to the tune of $25,000. Wasted chemical money. When I woke up to what I was doing wrong, I stopped, immediately stopped, and I went back to my father's way, my grandfather's way, all the way back to the settlers' way of going organic. What good does that do you? Well, I spent 5 years writing a very entertaining guide, The Green Wizard's Guide. Elegant Homestead is an organic gardener. She bought the very first book. So before you go and spend $25,000 trying to take care of your yard, whatever conditions you're walking into, doesn't matter. This applies. My neighbors call me the Green Wizard because everything that's in my yard that's green magically explodes and does incredible stuff because I go at it from the soil. I don't go to every single plant and doctor every plant. You can, but there's a bigger picture people overlook. Now, this isn't new information. This is old information, but it's been souped up with today's information. So you can go on Amazon. I would recommend getting the paperback, not the digital form, because there are things missing in the book. Hold on, I didn't hold anything back. There are things missing in the book, but there is a deliberate reason they're missing in the book. There's blank pages in here for you to add notes and take notes, like Elegant Homestead. That's awesome channel. She's also an Elegant Homestead channel. Her being an organic gardener, she puts out information you can add to this book in your own handwriting and keep all the information together. It's not a textbook. Please don't misunderstand. This is an entertaining guide of my neighbors picking on me while I went organic and how now they envy my yard because it is all soil, it is all organic, and anything I plant, I don't care what it is. I planted yellow peppers last year. My soil is so rich and so abundant. I brushed it going in with the back of my hand. Just brushed the plant and burnt my hand. The capsaicin levels were so high in that plant. Tomatoes, 3 times larger than you're used to. All organic. The right way of doing things. So you can go on Amazon, just type in the name Ron Neitzel or The Green Wizard's Guide on Amazon, and you'll find my book. That's what this channel is about. I keep bringing out more information as people ask, and I see a need for it. I put up videos. Yeah, we'll do a lot of these live streams and just hang out with people, but you can get the digital. You can get the digital. This is in bolder print. See, again, I've 5 years in development for the book. It's in bolder print. There are no chapters. There's bullet points, but there's no chapters. Bold print, spaced so that your thumb can touch the side of the page and never touch the ink. This is designed for a very quick read, very entertaining, 114 pages, and some of those are blank. It takes about 2 hours to read the book. Um, some people have read it multiple times. Um, some people have found multiple uses for it, but I keep bringing out more information. You can add them to the book. You can't do that in the digital form. Um, there's no way to edit digital for what I understand, but all the information's available. Every detail. Nothing is hidden. Nothing is held back except the one material I was just talking about, which is a mineral base found in Utah that never composted. So those people that want to garden but not have a compost pile, that still want the mineral base, that's ready to compost and is biodegradable, it's been treated, it was brought up to temperature and washed to make sure that it's safe. It's called Blooming Minerals. I don't know if I can grab the URL. Give me just a minute. Let me make sure I can grab it. Really? Okay. Shoot. I'm always doing something else and I never pay attention to make sure I go back. You guys don't care about that. You don't care about that. I will get it posted. I will get it posted. I don't see it right off the bat. But it's called Bloomin' Minerals. It is all the mineral base that you could potentially need and or get out of your own foods, stuff you yourself would actually eat. Um, and instead of composting, you can use this mineral base directly in your garden and basically get the same results. Oh, there it is. Found it. Now, depending on the size of your garden, dictates how much of this you would want. That's the other side to this. The particular company that I represent, I'll put the URL up here in a second. You can order different sizes. You can order in liquid format directly to your plants. So if you have indoor plants, I have a substitute for compost materials that you can take directly to your indoor plants. Or you can go to large scale, which I would recommend, and treat your entire yard, including the garden. Now, see, there's a whole lot of different things there, Lori. When I say treat your yard, you got to understand, if your yard's not healthy and you've got bad soil conditions or what I call clayification, and it's all rock hard, what have you, and you're going to attempt to put a garden into that, you're creating a giant bowl for water. All your plants are going to suffer. If your entire yard is organically rich and organically available, then your entire yard soaks up water, not just the garden, and the water's still bioavailable to your garden without flooding the garden. See, I don't water. I don't have to. Heat of summer doesn't phase my yard. My yard's still brilliant green. I just cut my yard for the 36th time this year. I live in Cleveland, Ohio. And I have to cut every 3 days. Don't have to. I love to. And I've got all the stripes and I've got the this and I've got the that going on. But there's so much water mass available in my yard, I don't need to water. My garden, my yard, nothing. Never need to drag a garden hose out. Um, but the minerals that I was just talking about, called Bloomin' Minerals, here's my direct link to the sales of that particular product. So you can just follow that link right off the Green Wizard. And that will take you to the mineral page. Anything that you're looking for in supplements for yourself, which is what I was talking about, Elegant, over on Will's page. They did it again. Now I need to go find a link. Just in time prepping, 9:30 Monday night, everybody. I will be over there talking about not the book, surprise, surprise, not the Green Wizard's Guide. We'll be talking about holistic health. We'll be talking about a better understanding of what your body's capable of doing. You can be ex-football star, ex-basketball star, have had knee surgery, had cartilage removed because of damage, had this done, that done, whatever. And Dr. Wallach, with his methods, letting the body heal itself and giving it the abundance that it needs, has rebuilt all those joints and put that stuff back, because they can't change the DNA chain. Your body is set on a certain mission the day you're born. And even if things are removed from your body, they're not completely gone. And if those basic cells or starter cells are there for joints, for this, for that, for the other, they can regrow. The human body's meant to regrow everything in it. That's why your skin is so elastic. That's why you start as a baby at this size, and then you grow up to be a 6-foot giant. To say this can't happen is to say that you're not capable of growing up and getting bigger bone mass, getting more elasticity to your skin, what have you. That's, again, it's the white coat. We're just going to keep you alive and have a sustainable way of life. We're not going to cure you. Well, Dr. Wallach's goal is to cure you and give you and your body the way to fix everything. So, Noodles, when you're talking about hair loss and what have you, don't give up. Don't give up. You may still be able to grow all that incredible, abundant hair. Bear with me just a second. I'll go find Will's channel. Hold on just a second so I can get that link up. If any of you guys want to go, I had done this before, which is another reason I don't like doing this. I put the announcement out that I was going to be over on his channel, and nobody from my group showed up. It's an odd time. I get it. That's okay. There it is. So we will be over here Monday night. Sorry, Will. I know I'm breaking one of my own rules. I know the camera's getting weird because I'm typing on the keyboard. Sorry. It's a floating keyboard. One day I'll show it to everybody, but here's the link. This is the channel I will be on Monday night. Other people will be there talking. I am not the only guest. I'm the only one that apparently is coming at it from the mineral side, though, and actually is affiliated with a company that has the best minerals on the planet. Oh, okay. I'm trying to get people to drop narcotics and go to CBD oil because I've had to do it with my last hospitalization. Now, and I'm going to say the wrong thing, and I know it's the right letters, I think, HTC, but it may be HCT. I'm not into that aspect of it. I want to know about growing it because I want the soil before they grow the plant and after they grow the plant. I want to know what happens in the soil. But my understanding is that it's the HTC that's the problem. That's the get all loopy. That's the pass fail drug test thing. My understanding is on that same link I just put up from My 90 for Life, they have an THC. That's it. Thank you. They have THC free. They found a way to remove the THC from the CBD oil. So it's 0 on the scale of THC in the CBD oil. They're getting the health benefits of the CBD and 0 THC in their oil. So it can be done. It is being done. There's a whole development center. Ann Beal had a show on it. I didn't catch the whole thing, so I'm not going to preach that I have any of the details or know enough as to the process or how it's governed or who's watching. I don't know, but they've released a product on My 90 for Life that is THC free. 100% will pass a drug screening test and still get the benefits of the CBD oil. Yeah, the company I represent is tremendous. They are about helping people and not about helping chemical companies and drug companies. There are many doctors getting on board that are seeing the benefits themselves and have joined with the company, with Dr. Wallach's company. So the backing is there, and it's coming from every walk of life, from surgeons, basketball stars, chiropractors, dietitians. Everybody's on board with this company that I represent. So back to hair loss and what have you, hereditary. Anytime a doctor immediately goes there and says, well, it must be hereditary because I can't see a cause, that's because he's not allowed to tell you what the cause is, or he actually doesn't know, which would be my thinking. The doctor just doesn't know. So he's going to blame it on you and your family and your family's genes. We're not born sick. Let's get real here. We get sick. We're not born sick. With all this radiation, with all this bad food, with our soils being 85%, and this is tested globally. And Lori, this will fall back on your new house and your garden. The scientific tests are telling us the United States is leading the world in the worst possible soil conditions. We are 85% deficient in everything we need in our soils. Now, I know any other gardener you're going to talk to that is not organic and doesn't understand is going to be preaching to you the NPK system. Understand, in that entire system, they only preach 12 potential amendments to your soil for all your plants. And they're incorrect. 1,000% incorrect. Your plants can deliver 70 to all 90 of the essential elements needed for the human body. Cravings go away. Body conditions improve just eating garden, fresh foods out of your own backyard. But you have to correct the soil conditions first. That's what my book is about. My book is about getting your soil conditions correct first. And this happens in weeks, not months, weeks from starting with the guide. Another channel that comes in here occasionally, and again, I won't talk about another channel. You'll find him on my videos. He's got this clayification problem, and I'll catch up with everybody's typing. I just can't see it. I kept paint all over my glasses from yesterday. Sorry, but I'll catch up. Every time it used to rain in North Carolina, he'd have to stay up all night long to watch his basement to make sure it didn't flood. The soil conditions were that bad. Him and his wife got a hold of my book. They put it to use. The soil is once again breaking down, going back to organic. The yard is out of control. When it rains in North Carolina now, they laugh because their yard stays dry. The water soaks in like it's supposed to. The plants are returning. The trees are returning. Everything on his property is turning around. In under 2 weeks is when it started. So when it rains at his property now, they laugh because the water is actually doing what it's supposed to, soak into the yard, not flood his house or flood the neighborhood. So every drop of water that's dropping is staying where it's supposed to stay and getting into the soil conditions. That's what my book is about. If you correct the soil conditions, everything can return and go back to where it's supposed to be. Okay, I'll catch up. Yeah, you're right. You're right, JCT. That's what they teach now. That's what they teach. The Hippocratic Oath, we've all heard that term. They still want to teach and tell you, oh, yeah, we follow the Hippocratic Oath. No, that was eliminated. That is no longer part of being a doctor anymore. They're no longer required to heal or heal thyself. They maintain quality of life and sell you drugs, and they get a kickback for those drugs. My neighbor is on cancer. Ray, the guy from this book, was on a cancer pill, and they were billing the insurance company $5,000 a pill. When he finally learned how to use the internet, he went out there searching for this pill. He found out it was a damn dog pill. It was available for 35 cents. But his insurance company was paying $5,000 a pill, and he still died from the cancer. What can I tell you? Well, that's just it, Lori. You gotta avoid. I mean, there's going to be drawbacks to anything you take. Why in the world a simple plant would be outlawed in our country when it has so many health benefits? The Indians knew about it and they still banned it. But they'll sell you narcotics. Go figure, right? Um, no, BS. That's BS. Noodles. That's BS. Your body can be out of whack. It can be too acidic, and it'll cause the hair cells to stop. But to say it's testosterone, you're too much of a man. You're not allowed to have hair. Give me a. Somebody needs to hit that man with a 2x4. That's BS. God, you're too much of a man. You have too much testosterone. Oh, right, right. Well, you can neutralize very easily, and that's where that's kind of the stance I take. Everybody is like, well, what if your soil's this or what if your soil's that? Every soil should be neutral. You should be running about a 7 on the alkalinity scale. 5 to 7 is a sweet spot. 7 is where you want to be on all of your soil conditions. But again, that plays so hard into the NPK BS And it is legitimately BS. When your soil conditions are correct and the mineral content is correct, there's no such thing as alkalinity. Have some more bonfires and spread those ashes out across your yard, because it's BS. Everything is supposed to be neutral. Our body's supposed to be neutral. There are proven tests out there, and this is one reason we should avoid coffee. I know, Elegant, don't have to say it. That the only way cancer can survive within the human body is to make it acidic. And then as soon as you neutralize it, cancer immediately goes away. Well, I'm sorry. Let's first off address the pink elephant in the room. When Mr. Obama, and I will not call him X anything, when Mr. Obama, who attended college not to be a doctor but to be a lawyer and was disbarred, lost his license, can come out and make doctoral changes to the definition of what is cancer in the human body, there's something wrong with our medical society. When somebody like Mr. Obama can make the dictation and state what is cancer. Back in the 50s, the Nobel Prize was awarded to a doctor for giving lab rats cancer and then taking it away. And it's this alkalinity BS. When you're eating the wrong foods and consuming the wrong liquids, you become alkaline and you're more prone to cancer. Free radical cells within the human body, per the definition of Mr. Obama. Any cells not doing what they're supposed to do, floating around in your body, obviously must be cancer. And every doctor fell into step behind it. And it's BS. It's flat out BS. Cancer is man-made. Period. Get over it. Man-made problem. Because it makes doctors and chemical companies rich. Bottom line. Bottom line. Anything you have, track it back. Track it back. It doesn't appear in history 100 years ago. It's new, and they've made major profit on it. Obviously, that's not hereditary. Oh, yeah, I know. I know. Hospitals are very, you have to use our stuff and our stuff only, because, yeah, we're doctors and we know better. So you're not allowed to treat thyself to heal thyself. Get to know Dr. Wallach. WHALCH. Dr. Wallach. You can find him all over YouTube. If you just say it to Google, it'll pop up. He's on George Noory. Coast to Coast AM, a lot. He's on Ann Beal, a lot. A lot of the medical conditions, and he's been sued. The FDA has taken him to federal court on a bunch of his claims to get him to shut up. And after all of the research is in and after all of the testing has done, the court system told the FDA to go pound salt. He can make these claims. Yes, he has cured these things. Yes, the body can cure itself of many, 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 many diseases, many, many, many problems, because you can't erase the DNA chain. All you can do is eliminate what you're feeding it. And that's why I preach fix your soil. If your soil's right, anything coming out of your garden will be right to its complete potential, and you will heal thyself. Again, some people can't compost. Some people can't this. Some people can't that. Some people aren't even allowed to have gardens in their city ordinances. I mean, they've already removed fireplaces. You're not allowed to have wood ash because it helps the garden. So you're not, well, okay. Some people shouldn't play with matches. I agree. Okay. Okay. So, some people shouldn't have fireplaces. Okay. I don't disagree. Some people shouldn't be allowed to drive cars or walk with pencils. I agree. Most politicians, I agree. But there's better ways, idiot proof ways of healing thyself. Oh, absolutely, Lori. Absolutely. I, they're going to look when you can get a bottle of ibuprofen, just a basic bottle of ibuprofen out of the store for what? $8, $12? When you get it in the hospital and they give you 4 or 5 ibuprofen, they're charging you $12 a pill, not the bottle, a pill. Uh, you don't see something wrong in that? I mean, there are laws that don't apply to hospitals and don't apply to doctors that state you're only allowed a 30% markup on any product. They don't apply to hospitals. They don't apply to doctors' offices. They don't apply to medical. Those people skated that law. They can charge whatever they want for what they're selling. There's something wrong with the system. It's that simple. Something wrong with the system. They want to talk about, well, if you want to be healthy, you need to take this drug. And they advertise it on TV. Need to take this drug if you have this, that, or the other. But per the law, they have to put out the disclaimer of all of the side effects. Come on. I want to take this medication that's going to cause me 5 other problems that I never had before to fix a problem that really isn't a problem for me. But let me run to the store and get this drug because somebody in a white coat that doesn't take the Hippocratic Oath said so. No. I went to the emergency room. I got one of the jobs I used to have in security. I would close up a building at night. So I would lock the building down as all the money was going into the back to be counted and put away and put in the safe and what have you. And I'd lock up the building. And I got stuck in a door jamb, killing the power to the door. And my wedding ring sliced through my finger right to the bone. So I finished locking up the building and kept my hand under pressure and what have you, and immediately went to the emergency room. And they refused care. Refused. So I called an EMT buddy of mine from the military. He said he'd come take care of it as long as it wasn't still bleeding and I hadn't cut an artery or something. He would come take care of it and do what have you in a day or two. When he came to see me 3 days later, I had gotten the ring off. He could not believe it was already healing itself. He was stunned. Wait a minute, dude, you didn't get any stitches. You didn't do anything to this. What the hell's going on? Why is this healing? Turns out it's because I've got so much colloidal silver in my system that it was healing itself. The human body is meant to turn around that fast. No chemicals and no drugs in my system, so my body can work the way it's supposed to work. Right. CBD can do a lot of things. There's a lot of particular minerals available from that plant that aren't available anywhere else. You can get them in other combinations from other plants. So you moving and building and doing your own garden, you're going to improve your quality of life immensely. You just want the highest mineral rich stuff that you can get your hands on. Tomatoes, huge. Bell peppers, huge. Um, Cream corn. Yeah, okay. I know corn on the cob goes right through most people, but that's because of the outer shell. When you cream it, you break that shell, the body can digest it. It goes a whole bunch of different ways, but that's where we're at. Um, but unless you guys have got some questions, I'm out of coffee and I can't think of anything else to talk about. Sorry. Um, and yes, and I have to make this claim every single time for YouTube, especially when I leave them up. The music you hear is me playing an Indian flute. It's my own music, no copyright. You'll find it on all my streams. So if just some people say it's melodious, and you've got the face for radio, so I kind of like listening to you. I've got a lot of live streams in the back that I don't have up. I will get them up eventually because we do a lot of these. Just BS sessions in the morning, hanging out, hanging with our friends. And there's a lot of detail. You can catch a lot of the details from the book and from other things that we've got going on. YouTube channel stuff. We cover a lot of that because I've been a moderator for years on a lot of channels prior to turning this channel on for the book. So we cover a lot of the YouTube channel building things throughout. I try not to go too long, maybe an hour. That usually seems to be enough for most people. I would get bored listening to me for over an hour too. Well, see, any government agency that is government funded, and all hospitals are under certain sets of guidelines, but most hospitals don't follow those guidelines, and they say they can refuse care whenever they damn well please for any condition they please, um, which is all BS. It's all BS if you actually follow the law. But who's going to sue a hospital? Seriously, who's got that kind of money? Yeah, and yet either hit the like button or hit the dislike button. I don't care which. One of these streams, we're going to just do a dislike. I think that would be a great idea, JCT. One of these streams we're going to put up just for the dislike. Everybody just hit the dislike button and just see what happens. Since I can't get people to comment otherwise, you can regrow the gallbladder, though. I know it doesn't sound possible. Every organ, per the DNA chain, every organ, per the DNA chain, can regrow. They don't go in and take out the gallbladder and remove the DNA instructions that have been there since you were born. You can regrow organs under the right supplements. When your body has everything it needs, which is the mighty 90, as we love to call it, which is why thank you. I am working on a different flute. I want to do the Lord of the Rings music. And then there's another channel that comes in here that's working on a soundtrack for me. It's going to be a little more upbeat, a little more. But I'm not musically oriented, nor am I garden oriented. I am soil. That's why anytime we do a gardening round table or something like that, which is the other video that's here, when we do a gardening roundtable, I lean heavily on gardening channels, Food Forest Permaculture. That's awesome. Elegant Homestead, Picker Rick. These are gardening channels. These people know plants. I know soil. I know how to fix soil and make things right. Stop the flooding nationally, globally for that matter, to fix the global condition. Because it turns out, again, more scientific research, and I'll shut up and shut the channel off, but more scientific research has proven global warming is not as AOC says and cow farting. No, no, no. It's the death of the food web. The microscopic organisms in your soil are struggling so much to survive that they are off gassing 90% of the greenhouse gases on the planet today. My system stops that. My system puts those conditions out of business, gets the soil working right, gets the water retention working right, gets your gardens producing the best they can possibly produce without pesticides, without herbicides, without adding nitrogen and carbon and all of these other things. Soils are that important, and it turns out that's where the greenhouse gases are coming from that are destroying the planet. It has nothing to do with what they're spraying in the air. That's what's killing it. That's what's stopping the food web. That's what's stopping the soils from absorbing water anymore. The death of the food web is going to be the death of us. When you eliminate the very first part of life on this planet, it's going to have an adverse effect to us at the top of the food chain because it's all the same thing. And that's what they're killing. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can regrow it. I don't care how good the surgeon is when they go in to remove an organ, they don't get it all because it's microscopic. It's in the DNA chain, and you can regrow it. You can regrow organs and joints and bones. Everything is capable of regrowing, provided you have the mighty 90 minerals that you need in your body for your size. Everything can come back, including gray hair go away. Believe it or not. Yes, under the mighty 90, you can. You can regrow everything in your body. The instructions are in your DNA chain. The surgeons don't go in and remove the DNA chain from your body. Anything. If there's 2 or 3 cells, that's from Dr. Wallach himself. If there are 2 or 3 cells left from a joint or left from an organ removed from your body, still in place, and you give it what it needs, those cells will regrow. Proof of that, hair continues to grow. Fingernails continue to grow. Skin can return from being all burned out and hard to an elasticity. Everything is capable of regrowing if you provide it the correct vitamins, minerals, and supplements, the mighty 90 that the human body actually needs. Everything can regrow. Your eyesight can come back, your hair, the gray hair go away, the joints rebuild themselves. Everything can come back. Everything. They can't remove it all. They can radiate the shit out of it with 5G, but they can't take it all away. We can regrow it. We can fix it. We can turn it around. We're all old. Doesn't mean we have to go to the grave old and in a wheelchair. We can go kicking and screaming. That's my idea. If I'm going to go, let me go on a tractor or let me go on a Harley. Because I don't want to go. I like it here. But, alrighty, Elegant. I hope that was enough to wake you up this morning and get you going. I hope you enjoyed your cup of coffee or two. And Lori Johnson, welcome to the channel. Hope you come back. There's plenty of other stuff here in my videos, plenty of other stuff to go back on. I've been interviewed a few times. There's interviews you can listen to from radio stations to podcasters about the book and understand more about the book and how I got where I got to. Hope you purchase the book and come back and have questions. I've answered everything in the book, but that never means that all the questions have been asked or answered yet. Because the only bad question is the one that never got asked. There are no stupid questions. So I'm going to shut this off, everybody. Hour and 15 minutes. I think I've talked long enough. Hope you're awake now, Elegant, which is the reason I turned this on to begin with, because our friends are missing today. Hope you all had some fun. Hope I see you guys Monday night. Really do. Answer some more questions for you. We'll see you, JCT. Have a wonderful day, dear. And I did see you wandering around in the park last night, because I'm always somewhere. You just never know. Just never know where the wizard's hiding. We'll see you, everybody. Y'all have a great day. We'll catch you later.